Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? I am really excited about tonight. I talk about this often. The NFL schedule release, to me, really matters. Because it's not just who you play, but when and where you play them. We talk about it often. Saints, a dome team from the South. When you play a road game in December outdoors in a cold weather city, that matters. Where your bye falls matters. Are you going to have a short week, home or away with Thursday night? All that matters. So I'm really excited tonight. 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. So this will be on ESPN, right? They're going to do this on ESPN? They're going to do this on ESPN?
You haven't heard. They leaked the schedule.
No, I know. Like, they've been leaking games throughout the course of the week. Like, we know that the Saints, week 4, are going to play in London against the Vikings. We know that, isn't Tom Brady going to be on a prime time? They leaked something else?
Yeah, but we also know, like, they're going to open at Atlanta. Like, week 1, they're opening at Atlanta. Then they play the Bucs at home. Then they go to Carolina. Then they go to London. Like, they leaked it.
So they leaked just a few games here that got out, and they leaked that the Saints are going to open in Atlanta?
No, like, they've leaked the entire schedule.
Like all of it?
All of it.
The whole thing?
All 18 weeks.
What if they're wrong?
I don't think that they are.
Why not?
Because this happens every year.
Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? Okay. So no need to watch tonight then for the schedule release. We'll just go through the schedule release, which has already been leaked. I actually, if I'm looking at the schedule as a whole, I love the start. Love the finish. The middle is a behemoth. From mid-October to December is a total stinking gauntlet. Let's just take it kind of in order. As Muse mentioned there, the Saints will open, provided that this leak is correct, which I'm assuming it is. They'll open in Atlanta, at home against Tampa, at Carolina, then they go to London to take on the Vikings, which we already knew. Then they'll come home against the Seahawks in week 5. Then the one a lot of people here are excited about, week 6, Joey B and the Bengals will be in the Dome. Week 7, you're at Arizona on Thursday Night Football. You come home week 8 against the Raiders. You're home week 9 against Baltimore. Then you're at Pittsburgh, home against the defending champion Rams, at the Niners, at the Bucs, then your bye is week 14. That's that meat that I was talking about. Starting week 6 against Cincinnati. You're home against Cincinnati, short week at Arizona. You come home to play the Raiders and the Ravens. Then you're at Pittsburgh November 13th. You're home against the defending champion Rams. You go out west to play the Niners. Then you're at Tampa Bay. So, like coast to coast, at San Fran, then at Tampa. Then you're bye. That's brutal. From week 6 against Cincinnati to week 13 against Tampa, that will make or break your season. Whatever it may end up being, that's the part of the season that we're going to look at and go, yep, that's what did it. A couple of observations here. I love the bye on week 14. You talk to enough NFL guys, they'll tell you that they would rather have rest closer toward the playoffs. Like, they don't want the bye too early because then you end up playing too many weeks consecutively, and that makes sense. So I like the fact that the bye is week 14. If you end up being a playoff team, well, then you've got the bye week 14, then you have your final 4 weeks, then you're into the playoffs. So I do like where the bye is. Those first 5 weeks, I think, are super manageable, even with the game in London. So you open at Atlanta, and I get it, it's a division opponent, you're on the road, but remember, there's no Matt Ryan anymore. So you're probably going to be facing Marcus Mariota and like no other receivers. Yeah, they got Kyle Pitts and they drafted Drake London, but you're facing Marcus Mariota. You should win that game. Then you're home against Tampa. The Saints have had great success against Tampa, right? Then you're at Carolina. Like, who's going to be starting for Carolina? I mean, is it going to be Darnold? I mean, I can start Matt Corral. Maybe it's Baker. Maybe they get a deal done and Mayfield goes out. I don't know. But as of right now, I really like that. The Saints week 3 at Carolina. Because week 4 they're in London, my guess is they'll just fly to Carolina, play that game, and then go straight across the pond to London. I can't imagine them flying back to New Orleans only to then travel across the ocean. So that's going to be a long road trip from when you leave to go to Carolina straight to London, and then you're there for a week. And then that's really a tough turnaround. It used to be in the NFL that you'd get that week off after the international game, but there's so many international games now, you can't schedule that, so you have to play. So they'll play Seattle in the Dome. And Seattle's going to be quarterbacked by either Drew Lock or Geno Smith. Again, like, I like the matchups here in the first 5 weeks of the season. There's a really good chance you can come out of that 4-1. I mean, there's a really good chance you come out of the first 5 4-1, but then you hit that gauntlet. And that's where it's really going to be interesting to see what you do. Cincinnati, short week at Arizona on Thursday Night Football. Raiders, Ravens, at Steelers, Rams, at Niners, at Bucks. Like, that's your season. That determines what it is you're playing for in the final month. And then when you look at the final month, a week after your bye, you play Atlanta at home. We know how good the Saints have been after their bye. So that's week 15. And then week 16, you're at Cleveland. Week 17, you're at Philly. And then you finish at home against Carolina. And I'll say this. We've had the conversation so long about cold weather games late in the season. And I think part of that conversation has been because as Drew Brees aged, we talked about the sort of like finesse passing offense of a dome team playing outdoors in the cold and how much it might affect Drew Brees with, limited arm strength late in the season. I don't know that you have that same issue with Jameis Winston, y'all. Like, I went and looked up cold weather road games, because Jameis, of course, played in Tampa, but cold weather road games he's played and started late in his career. In 2015, they played January 3rd at Carolina. He threw for 325 yards that day, 29 of 47 for 325. His second year, 2016, they played at Kansas City November the 20th, so around Thanksgiving. He was 24 of 39 for 331 and a touchdown. 2017, played at Carolina on Christmas Eve, 21 of 27 for 367 and a score. And then in 2018, they were at Baltimore. He was 13 of 25 for 157, no touchdowns. He did throw a pick. That might just be because Baltimore is really good. But point is, like, 4 times he's played outdoor cold weather games late in the season. In 3 of those, he's gone for over 300 yards passing. I don't know that with this offense and a young Jameis that we should really be that concerned, especially as good as the Saints defense has been, about them playing outdoor cold weather games on the road late in the season. So all in all, look, I mean, it's the NFL. Nobody's schedule is easy. And there's always surprises. There's teams you think are really good when you see the schedule that end up not being good, and then you can flip that sometimes. Like, what's Cleveland going to look like in Week 16 with Deshaun Watson? They may be really stinking good, and that could be a darn near impossible game. Maybe the Niners stink. Who knows? But, what does Trey Lance become this year as the starting quarterback? So, there's always those questions. Injuries happen as well, which shapes a schedule and games and teams and seasons. So we'll wait to see how it plays out. But as it is, I love how it starts. I love how it finishes. That middle from week 6 to week 13, that is going to define what you are and what you're playing for come December and January. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.